Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Thriving Beyond Borders with Namdi. I am Namdi Henacho, Dr. Namdi Henacho, founder of the African Women Collective. And every week I come to you with our episode Thriving Beyond Borders, where we are talking through we share resources, tools, and things to help you thrive here as an immigrant, especially Black immigrants here in the United States. And I'm excited. The format is changing up a little bit. So today I'm not doing this. If you can tell, it's a different, more structured, different, it's a different setting. We're trying out something new, and so I'm excited to explore this option. And let me know how you feel about it. If you are new here, you have not subscribed to our YouTube, you're not following us on LinkedIn, please make sure you do so. That's how we continue to reach the people we reach. And if there's anything of value you learn from the sessions, please make sure you are sharing with everybody who needs this resource. Again, we want to be a resource center for Africans and the African diaspora, the Black diaspora here in the United States. Thank you again for joining me. I'm excited. So today we're looking at just asking a question as we get into the month of May. Next month is June, and then we'll be smack in the middle of 2026. Remember how the year started? We had all of these expectations, we had these goals, we had the different things we wanted to get done. And so I want to start with a question. I want us to have a media mirror, right? Are you on track or are you on autopilot? We are almost halfway through 2026. And most people have no idea when they are winning or they're just busy. And so I want to give you a tool to help you figure that out, right? Am I winning or am I just getting stuff done? Am I just busy? So we want to, my goal is to give everyone, a structured media audit, right? Before we get to the halfway point so that you can have the resources you need. You're not caught unawares by, I don't want us getting to June and figuring out, like, man, this year is over and what have I done with it? And so that is what, my goal today is. Again, thank you for being here, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube, thank you for being here. Quickly, I want to talk about the danger of, autopilot. Just going through the motions. We have our routines. I go to work, I wake up, and then the days keep passing. And I don't know if it's just me, but I have this consistent thing these days where I don't want to put to bed because there are things that need to happen, right? I don't want to be in this web of being on autopilot, right? And just going through the day because there's a danger to it. The first danger is, you can be busy and not productive, right? There's activity, but then is the activity leading to tangible results, right? That's the, autopilot to keep you busy, but are you being productive? Our tendency as immigrants is to equate activity with progress, right? We love to talk about how busy we are, how much my day, stress I'm going through at work, how things are happening, and how is, doing what and not doing what at work. Things we take, pride in, and there's that tendency to equate activity with progress. And that's not the truth. That's not always the case, right? It's not about, think about a driver going somewhere, right? It's you're driving, it's no matter how fast you are, if you are driving in the wrong direction, you are busy, but you are busy going nowhere, right? You can never arrive at your destination driving in the wrong direction. And so activity means I'm driving, I'm moving, but there has to be direction in line with the activity, right? And so I want us to get out of the headspace of I want to be busy. I want to, I'm just staying busy and then I'm making sure that the busy is driving me in the direction of the goals I had at the beginning of the year, of the objective I had set for myself when the year first started. That is the goal of the busy. If that is not happening, then we are not meeting our objectives. Does that make sense? And so I want us to get away from just that activity to just being active, to being productive, to being productively engaged. And so we're ready to really address that because that's a tendency that we could have as immigrants. And so today I want to give you a mirror, a mirror, not a motivational speech. I want to give you something that you can use to actually look at, right? And so let's get into it, right? So I'm going to give you what I call the three lens audit. The lens number one is the income lens. Okay, again, three lenses. The first one is the income lens. Where are you financially versus January, right? Your general intention. Again, it's very important. Now, it's not a case of am I making more money now? But am I on track, right? Is there where I wanted to be that I'm not even Have I even moved towards that direction? So that income lens. Okay, so did you set an income target as a business person, as a person in career? Are you on pace? Right, for somebody who earns a salary and it's a fixed salary, there's probably nothing has happened between January and June or May, right? And so if you had an income target, that means you were probably talking about a job change, an extra job, or starting something by the side, maybe doing something with AI. Is that something that you are on track with? Have you started learning the skills? Have you started doing the work towards that direction? Yes, you might not get a jump, but maybe you started putting things together in terms of your projects and work and doing the paperwork so that when your annual appraisal happens, you are in line for a decent raise. You wanted you're putting things, you're setting things in motion so that you can get promoted, and then it comes with a pay bump. The question is, are you in line to do those things? Right? Are you on track with all of the things that you wanted to get you to your financial goals? Right. So did you set an income target? Are you on pace? Did you get the promotion? Right? Did you get the raise? Did you get the contracts? So whether you are working full time for a company, whether you are a consultant, you're hired as a contractor, did you raise your rates? Were you a $75 an hour guy and now you're targeting the $150 per hour gigs? So what is that? How is that going? Like that's the audit I need to be doing. Where am I in this thing? So, I'm trying to make sure that you don't just accept how the year has gone as how the year will go. And what steps are you taking? And so if you have not, or if you are not on track with all of those things, what's changed and what are you doing about it? Right? What has changed? Why are you not on track? Right? And these questions are for myself, for all of us. I'll give you like for us at AIM now, we are trying to be more intentional with fundraising. Okay, so for you watching this thing, I'm just letting you know you'll see us be more upfront about because we want the organization to be sustainable as well. And so one of the conversations we have been having is how do we ensure that we can do that? And it's easy to blame culture and blame, for us, we're looking at, it's easy to say, hey, our people don't do this, our people don't do that, or we're not used to doing certain things. But we have built intention around how we're trying to be more intentional about how we fundraise, what's working, what worked last time, and what's not working. And we constantly tweaking and adjusting. In fact, I've hired differently right, for the to do that with. I've recruited differently in terms of leadership, just so that we are on track. Now, are we there? No, but at least you're taking steps to measure all of the things. And my goal is we're going to get to the end of the year meeting certain objectives, right? We want to make sure that first of all, like our events, our major summit this year is paid. We want it to be sponsored. How we work all of those things. And that's what we're doing from our own end to hit our financial goals, right? It is okay, sponsorships. How are we nurturing those relationships intentionally and navigating the conversations there? Partnerships, right? Sponsorships, but also regular fundraising, donations. How do we ensure that we are harnessing that pipeline and people keep giving? So as I talk to you, I'm telling you right now that we have goals because we need money to run the organization. So make sure you go to our website and go to the donate page and donate. All right. So that's again, what are you doing about those goals? And secondly, lens number 2 is the identity lens. Okay, are you known for what you want to be known for? This is very important. People are going to decide whether they do business with you or not, whether they will hire you or not, how they relate with you or not, based off of identity, right? How is your LinkedIn positioned? What does your digital presence say about you? Have you added any credentials? Have you published anything? Have you spoken anywhere? Okay, are you networking with intention? Are you networking with intention or by accident? Right? You're just now meeting people, but there's no intention to it. This is very, very important. Again, I've had situations. I don't think this is the best example. I think I'll skip this one. I'm going to share it. Like for me, one of the things I'm leaning into this year, like I just did my 40th birthday last week, Saturday. Today's exactly 1 week removed from my 40th birthday. I needed a TED talk. Why was that important for me to apply to these things? Because I want to make sure that when you look me up, there are certain things I want to be positioned as a voice within, in the community. You need credibility. You need to have spoken on credible stages, right? A TEDx talk was important for me, and as God would have it, the TED talk I was accepted for also landed on my birthday. Leading up to my birthday, I went live every day for 40 days. every day nonstop. I showed up live. This wasn't pre-recorded videos, right? It's not about putting out content every day for 40 days. I did daily Instagram reels, and I also showed up live on YouTube every day for 40 days. What has happened is YouTube following has grown, and now I'm talking through how do I sustain the momentum, right? So that when you look my name up, it's showing certain things. Okay, LinkedIn, I'm trying to post more. I just created a Substack account recently in the 40-day time, and I'm posting on it. I want to be more active on Threads. So that when you look up now, the NHL, Dr. Nabi NHL, one name dominates that search. That's the goal, right? And you want it to be somebody. I want it to be somebody. Like if you're looking for anybody in my line you want to engage with or interact with, I want to be the third choice, right? And so that intentionality, we've done that. We're trying to do that with African Young Collective. How we do content, how we consistently put out, where are we showing up at, how are we partnering up with people to make sure we are extending our reach. But that identity lens, you need to audit that. Like, how are you perceived online? Before, I run, I've done, a lot of professional development training. I lead and I teach people how to make career transitions, right? It's a conversation that we constantly have. Before, it wasn't a necessary requirement. A LinkedIn was a nice to have. Right? 10, 15 years ago, that was the case. Let me say 10 years ago, it was a nice to have. LinkedIn was a luxury to have. Now, that's the first background check anybody would do. Okay, I've had people with my same name but have negative things, and it's dense opportunities for me, right? So one of the reasons I'm very passionate and aggressive about reclaiming that ecosystem that has my name in it is I want any other person with my name to be so far down. I said, whatever bad thing they're doing, it's not going to affect the way you do business with me. I'm about to launch my website in the next couple of weeks. I'm launching my website. I was going to do that a little earlier. So I'm sharing all of those personal things, even though it's on AIM platform, but it's also personal to me. I don't want to tell you things that I'm not doing. And so identity lens is important, right? Networking with intention. How are you meeting people, right? I am on LinkedIn, again, part of the things that I'm talking with my partnership and coordinator person. I've told them like, hey, these are the networks I want to make. This is who I want to be connecting with. These are the connections I need to be following up with. Like you have to make sure that this is happening. Right? That intentionality to again networking with intention, not by accident. And then lens number 3 is the impact lens. Are you contributing beyond yourself? This is so important. And I'm talking about mentorship, community investment, civic engagement. And for us as African immigrants, what is your legacy marker this year? Are you contributing? We open up opportunities to say people, hey, come and join Knowledge Partners. Come and volunteer. It crosses beyond you, right? It's okay that you are okay, but who else is benefiting from that? What is your success? How is your success helping the next person? It's important to have those conversations. Am I actually meaningfully contributing? Are we involved in the civic and advocacy? Am I civically engaged? Right? This is an election year. Am I even interested in the process? A lot of people don't even realize that the primaries are happening now. Any voting is going on. And people within that community, it's not even a big conversation like that. I wish that's something we could amplify more. Because these decisions affect us even after what 2026 has been, right? You think maybe immigrants might be a bit more loud and vocal and more engaged. And so I'm calling us out as a community. We need to go beyond survival, right? We need to get out of that survival, like as long as I'm fine, as long as it works for me. I saw somebody put out a post and they said the biggest problem to immigrants, or the biggest problem an undocumented immigrant or an immigrant who is trying to get their papers, the biggest setback for them is an immigrant with papers. When I don't agree with that statement completely, that is coming from a place of experience, and I totally see why somebody will make a statement like that. Because a lot of the time we attain success, we attain a level of impact, and what we do is instead of building a bridge or making sure that the ladder that we stepped on to climb to where we wanted to, the level of success that we were looking for, instead of ensuring that, okay, that ladder is still there and I'm holding it so that it's staying for the next person to climb up, I pull the ladder up and move on. And I don't care about the people down who are trying to navigate the journey. No, we have to get in the culture of, hey, while I still progress, at some point I need to stop and look back and say, hey, who can I help? Who can I pull up? Who can I show the way? And so you might not be doing it from a personal perspective, but there's organizations like what we are building at the African Collective that you can become a part of. That all we're doing is creating bridges to ensure that no one, it's literally a slogan, no one has to start from scratch. Right? The fact that the previous generation started from a certain place, it shouldn't be a badge of honor that we are now saying, hey, I went through this, and so everybody coming through must go through this. That's not a badge of honor. We need to do better. We need to live. It needs to get easier as the generations come. I hope somebody's with me. So that is the next impact lens. Who am I mentoring? Who am I sponsoring? Who am I, who am I vouching for? Who am I giving opportunities? Who am I opening doors for? Advocacy is important. We have to become our own advocates. In your job, you're in a position to make a decision, a hard decision. Can you, incentivize your people to come into that company? It helps one family, it helps two families, right? Can you go make sure that, hey, you're opening these doors for other people? There are qualified people within our community. I'm not saying hire an unqualified person into a position at your job. No, but I'm saying pay attention to are there opportunities to bring in other people from our community into these positions, qualified people who are educated, who are hardworking, who have the credentials, who might have lost a job, who might have become victims of maybe just career transitions that have been happening in the last year. Right. And so that's my call. Impact has to be intentional. All right. I hope somebody is gaining some value from this. All right. So moving on from there, I want to go into a 3-question reset, as we look to continue this. A 3-question reset. Again, what is working that I should double down on? Okay, again, I want to make sure we are ready for mid-year. I want us to feel good about where we are middle of the year. So what is working that I need to double down on? Okay, so one of the things I've kind of gotten into a reading for writing. I've always wanted to author books and different things. I have these ideas, these thoughts, but there's never enough time. This year I got into a reading. My children challenged me. We did a 100-day challenge, all of us in the house, and we all set our 100-day goal. Right? And one of mine was to write a book. And I've ended up, building manuscript for 3. So I've gotten into a flow and a reading. I find what's working, and now I know how to take my thoughts and begin to document, right? And leverage tools and resources available to me to do that. So now that's working. I'm going to keep that system going. I don't know how many I will end this year with, but I know I'm going to end with more, several manuscripts. There's a couple I want to launch, with events that are coming throughout the year. Personally, I share around my birthday and all of that, celebrations and all of that. But I found a rhythm. I'm doubling down on those things, right? With the 40-day live streams, I found something that works in terms of content. I'm doubling down on that. So with hiring, with staffing, with my team, with the organization, with leadership, we find what's working, double down on that. Number 2 is what is not working that I honestly need to let go of. You have to be able to tell yourself the truth. Like, this thing that I'm doing now is not sustainable. I can't continue doing it. I have to stop it. It's not working, or it's working against me. I need to stop. What is not working that I need to honestly let go of? Or what is, instead of just saying what's not working, what is working against me? For some, it might just be schedule adjustments. It might just be habits that I'm getting into that are not helping me. Or something that I'm hitting my head against the wall on this thing and it's not yielding results. And maybe it's time to look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, this is not working. Tell yourself the truth and then make a change. And then what have I been avoiding that I know I need to start? This is personally, I know there's certain things that I've danced around from a mission perspective, right? And I can mask it in all of those things, but there are certain things that, you see, and okay, yeah, I need to start leaning into this. It's very super important. So what have I been avoiding that I need to start? Some assignments. And then I want to encourage you to, journal these things, right? Some of these answers, take some time, use your voice notes. If you don't want to, write or type on your phone, you're not sure you're going to keep it properly, journal those things down, write them down, do a voice memo and answer these questions, right? What's working that I need to double down on? I need to keep doing and do more of. I need to expand on. What is not working that I need to let go of? Right, maybe it might even be something that people are saying do more, right? Again, do more content. Maybe you need to not do more content, right? And that's not the example. You make the points, right? It's what do I need to stop doing that I'm doing now that is not, it's not feeding into the mission that I have for the year. What have I been avoiding that I need to start? You need to start working towards. You need to start. There are trainings for me. There is a couple of trainings I know I need. I've gone ahead to pay for them. I have not invested myself in them the way I should. I am busy, right? But I know I need to be at a certain place by Q3, by the end of the year. And I need to pay attention to not just do the trainings, but also apply myself to the things that I'm learning. Okay, so it is important to do that, do that, answer these questions, have that, reset, and then begin to make intentional strides towards where your original goal. The year is not wasted by any stretch of the imagination. You might have lost some time, but you can recover and redeem your time by properly auditing, and doing this exercise multiple times, and then beginning to make adjustments and take steps in the direction of the goals that you have set for yourself. All right. So I want you to really, really pay attention to these things. Get set to wrap up this month. I'm so excited to say this. The African Immigrant Collective is going to be 2 years old. We started this May 25th, 2024. We launched with our summit. Shout out to everybody who has been there from the beginning. Let's go. Thank you very much for believing in the mission. I remember when we first started, we put out a poll and said, this is what we're thinking, and we got feedback that like, yes, this is incredible. Wish we had this. There was a lot of, I wish I had this. I wish I had this. And so we figured, well, we might not have had it, but the people coming after will have it. We have made significant strides in the last 2 years. And we have shown up regularly, weekly master classes. Makes sense. We're having 3 flagship events every year. We've done that 2024. 2025, we had our advocacy conference, women's conference, the summits, right? It happened 2 years in a row. We're on track. We already did the women's conference this year. It was incredible. Over 120 attendees. We have the advocacy and policy conference coming up. We're launching our first cohort-based program that's in partnership with the Gwinnett Chambers of Commerce. It has been 2 incredible years. We started our immigration clinics in March because the community said we need this. And we have helped. As I spoke to our attorney today, we had our session today. If you add up the numbers in the last 3 months, we've served over 20 people, one-on-one consultations with an attorney where they didn't have to pay, right? That is what we are talking about. That is why we started this mission, to make meaningful change in the life of our community, to make sure that Africans here don't have to navigate this journey by themselves. They feel like they have resources, because when we are stronger, we have a voice, we can make impact, and then it translates back home, and so that is how it's been. So it's been 2 years of impact, of showing up, of serving our people across the country. And so my ask is, if this community has added value to your journey, I want to ask that you invest in it. That's my call to action, right? Invest in it. Go to our website, africanimmigrantcollective.org, and go and make a donation, right? If this community has done anything for you, in fact, I encourage you to not just make a one-time donation, but become a recurring donor. We're trying to create consistent revenue so that we can fund our mission. And nobody gets paid. All of our leaders are volunteer leaders. We're not paid. All of us, we have staff that is paid, but majority of everybody who works everybody who works and is leading, all volunteers, board volunteers, officials, volunteers, leaders in the various areas, people who make this thing happen are not getting paid. I'm not getting paid from AIM. We are just people who are burning with a passion to make a difference, to make meaningful impact. So please go on our website. You will see the option to donate. If you go to programs, you'll see donation. You can't miss it. And make a gift, one-time gift. But preferably, I'm asking you right now, it can be a $20 a month. Something that won't hurt your pocket, but it's going to encourage us. That's how you let us know that, yes, I believe in what you're doing. Keep going. Your $20 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it is that's within your capacity, that's not going to take food away from the table, from your family, that's it will make a great difference. So go on the platform, go on our website today, and go sign up for that. All right. Secondly, next month, we have our advocacy and policy conference. It is going to be incredible. It's happening here in Atlanta at the Gwinnett Chambers Education Center. Registration is now open on Eventbrite. Will be maybe when we the link should be on the screen when you watch this video. Go ahead and register for it. It's live. We were excited to host you. For people who are not based here in Georgia, we will go ahead and still register. We'll make provisions for you to be able to attend virtually. That day is also going to be a graduation event for people who are in our Business Igniter program. So if you have an idea, you have a business, you're on the startup stages of your business, or you have an idea and you want to get it off the ground, and we have partnered with the Gwinnett Chambers of Commerce, the Gwinnett Chambers Foundation, to work with you. And you don't have to be resident in Gwinnett or in Georgia. You can be a part of this from anywhere. We've partnered up with the Gwinnett Chambers to make this happen. They are bringing the faculty. We are partnering with, Verizon Digital Ready is going to be a co-partner in this to create the curriculum, to provide digital resources. There will even be an opportunity to be a part of the Verizon grant, some program. So you could actually just win some money by actually doing this program. And because we are partnered up with the chambers, the cost of it, the major tuition cost is already covered. Right. And so there is a registration fee to pay. It's 4 weeks, 4 weeks intense. So go ahead and sign up for that and register. Again, we've made its price very insignificant at this point because we are partnering with the chambers, and so it's not, the cost to it to us is not a lot. And so be a part of that so that you'll be part of the set that's graduating. Graduating in June for our conference. So can't wait. A lot is going on. I'm excited to welcome you into the programs, to receive your donations. Thank you everybody for listening. Again, if you have not subscribed, that's the least you can do. Go ahead and subscribe and share this with somebody. Don't enjoy all of this excellent content by yourself. Let somebody know we're doing it big, we're doing it different. But thank you all so much. Stay connected. We have our weekly master classes every Saturday by 2:00. And make sure you are following us on social media so that you can know what's coming up, the topics. Make sure on our LinkedIn, on Instagram, we post what's coming up and who. We have an excellent pool of knowledge partners who come and share wisdom and knowledge from their own area of expertise, again, at no cost to the community. Great people doing great work, talk about impact, you have a platform. So get plugged in, and I will see you in one of the sessions within the community. But till then, God bless you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in class. I'll see you at the conference. I'll see you online. I'll see you at the next episode of Thriving Beyond Borders as we aim. All right. Peace.